Hey y'all, welcome back. This is episode 25 of season 2. Thanks for listening and staying with us as we continue to grind through the craziness of this podcast. Tonight, we're going to touch on, let's be honest, March Madness. It is all about the madness tonight. There was a lot of great games last week. We all know Fairleigh Dickinson. We all know Princeton. I know I'm missing one other, Kevin. Who am I missing? Furman. Thank you. The one that Noel, when you listen to this, good call out on that one. And we all just kind of laughed at you.
We literally did. It's crazy.
And it's funny that when we talked about Arizona and we go, yeah, everyone, Arizona, straight across the board, it was Arizona. Yeah, no, that didn't happen. That was
even Purdue. We didn't even we went right to Purdue.
Oh yeah.
Didn't even skip a beat. And FDU, the shortest team in the tournament. They just played so much harder than Purdue that night.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
We're
gonna get into it.
We're definitely gonna get into that because that game, I watched the majority of that game.
Me too.
That was amazing. I am sad that FDU though lost to FAU. You know.
Yeah, I think they just ran out of gas.
Oh yeah, you could see it down the end. But like we said, we'll talk about it. Let's talk with the weekly sports update. So we'll kind of jump around a little bit with this. Most, biggest thing, maybe if you're a baseball fan, even if you're not, like Kevin and I, we're not very big baseball fans. We all probably know what happened the past, 2 days ago, I believe it was the World Baseball Classic final, the USA versus Japan. And Shohei Ohtani struck out his teammate Mike Trout to end the game, and Japan won 3-2. So hats off to Japan for winning the World Baseball Classic. Now let's see how the MLB season goes. But, from what I saw, it was a great, playoff. I don't know how they structure it, if it's like round robin. I just saw highlights. I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, I would be lying to you if I were to say that I even caught any seconds of it. I didn't. All I know is that USA, almost won it all, which I think a lot of people counted them out. I think they all were looking for Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico to take it.
Mm-hmm.
But, shout out to Japan and Shohei Ohtani. He's that dude. He's really that dude.
There was so it almost was Mexico in the finals. I did see that, like, highlights of that game, and there's a highlight. I don't know who for Japan hit the ball, but it's going deep center field, and the Mexico player runs back, jumps up, perfect timing, snags the ball, and just lands and just stands there like this and just stares off like, no, this is mine. I got this. Granted, Japan did win in walk-off fashion. So, hats off to them. Now let's get into the MLB season, where I won't pay attention to a baseball game until probably October, maybe September.
Unless we go to one.
Yeah, I am in talks with my buddy Mark, who's one of our avid listeners. Mark, when you listen to this, we will discuss this in more details as the baseball season comes around, but we are hopeful to go catch a Long Island Ducks game. So it's a minor league team out here. And then maybe, hopefully, we can run over to Citi Field and catch a Mets game. I've always wanted to go there. So we might be doing that.
I'm not gonna lie. I've never seen a Mets game. I've been a Yankees game. So I would enjoy to see a Mets game once as well. I've only driven there to go to Arthur Ashe because I watched a couple of wrestling events last couple of years there, and Arthur Ashe is literally next door to Citi Field.
Oh.
So I definitely would be intrigued to check that out. So definitely would be in for that.
Okay. Well, I'll let you know when we figure out a date, and we'll go from there. But yeah, I think that'd be fun. All right.
Absolutely.
So we're going to talk about basketball. So we'll leave that one last for the weekly sports update. So let's talk about football, because NFL free agency started last week. It was crazy for the first couple of days, like we talked about, last week and such. But it's really calmed down. You're seeing the second tier players kind of sign contracts, or players going back to teams like use the Patriots. They cut Jalen Mills, re-signed him to a more team friendly deal, freed up a little bit of cap space. I guess they got like 15 mil still in cap space. So I'm hoping that it's for someone called Jerry Judy more than DeAndre Hopkins. I like D Hop, but I would prefer Judy. He's younger,
He is
um,
younger.
much younger. No offense to D Hop, he's still probably top 3 receiver in the league. But there's nothing new on the Aaron Rodgers front, where we all thought by the end of last week that there would be a deal made with the Jets. There's nothing. I'm kind of not surprised. The Jets are making moves though. They are signing receivers. They traded Elijah Moore to the Browns. They picked
Got
up
some
Hardman.
Cole Hardman. Yep.
McCole Hardman from the Chiefs. So there's some movement on their end. They got Lazard from Green Bay. I'm going to be very honest. I still don't think that makes them a contender. Especially
There's also talks of them trying to get Odell.
I
Beckham
saw
Jr.
that today. They said financially it's not working right now. They need to get closer to the finances. Need to be a little bit better for both sides. But it does sound like he might land there, which if he does, that's crazy. But we'll see. We always think these players are going to go one spot, and all of a sudden, flip of a quarter, they're somewhere else. So
Yeah, I think I feel like the Jets do need to get this deal done somewhat soon,
mhm.
just so that like they can just stop the chatter of like, oh, when is Aaron Rodgers coming? When is this? What are they gonna do? I think it's just I think it could be end up being a distraction if it lasts longer. Um, but especially if Odell Beckham Jr. comes to the Jets. Me personally, I've always felt Odell was just kind of made to be a player in New York. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he's very polarizing. He was a huge fan favorite for the Giants. If he goes to the Jets, I'll definitely be rooting for him. Um, but yeah, it looks like the Jets are trying to make these moves for everybody that Aaron Rodgers wants, they're getting. Now they just need to get him because I will say, if, and that's a big if because we don't know, if the Jets don't get Aaron Rodgers, the pool is very, very slim afterwards. Not with Derek Carr gone, Lamar Jackson seemingly not leaving Baltimore anytime soon.
Oh,
It's
that
like,
one,
who else is left?
that one is interesting though. So Lamar can leave. So yes, he signed he's on a franchise tag, but is a unrestricted franchise tag. So what that means is he can go talk to any other team in the league. So if he wants, he could go to the Patriots. He could go to the Steelers. He could go wherever he wants to talk to the NFL teams and discuss what he wants money wise. If they create an offer and he gets an offer from another team, he can go back to the Ravens and give them the offer. And if they match it, then he stays. If they do not match it, then he goes to the new team, and the new team, I don't know if you give up a first round pick or a second round pick, or a combination of picks for that, but there is some type of compensation that goes back to the former team for that player. So there is still potential. Rumblings that I've seen and heard and read about is that he does not want to be there anymore. He feels disrespected from what the reporters are saying because of the money situation. Honestly, then move on. Go somewhere else. There's not too many places that still need quarterbacks, though. That's the thing.
No, yeah, it's definitely the places are getting slimmer now because especially if we're running towards the draft. Those we got those new draft picks coming in, so
Yeah,
yeah, we'll definitely see. It's gonna be an interesting rest of the offseason, but it's been starting off with a bang so far.
that it has. And then the biggest thing that I saw today was Zeke Elliott. He apparently has got it down to three teams: the Jets, the Bengals, and the Eagles are the three teams contending for Zeke. My opinion, the Bengals make the most sense because they lost P. Ryan.
Did they? Where did he? I forgot. Where did he
I
go?
think I can't, I wish I could remember where P. Ryan went. I have to look it up.
I already got it. Let me see if I
All
can
right, where'd he
find it.
go?
Samaje Perine. Here we go. It is. I believe he went to the Broncos.
Wow. And then Mixon's in some type of legal issues too, right? So what I've been hearing.
I think so. I don't know too much
Yeah, neither do.
about his. I've been hearing rumblings about him, but I'll be honest, like there's like so much other news out there. Like I might have just like, all right, see ya.
Uh, he had the assault charge that it was brought up. Is that it? I guess that might be it. I don't know. I thought there was something else. I saw someone say like he had pointed a gun at like kids or something.
Oh goodness gracious.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Um, but I would say the Bengals. You know, the Jets just don't make any sense because you have decent rookies or younger players in that position. Eagles, maybe because they lost Miles Sanders, but
Well, yeah, I think it just all depends on what type of role he's gonna have. So if I look at the
hmm,
three of those teams, he's gonna be the second back at all those teams. The Eagles, they still have that whole but they have that big running back group
yeah,
of
they lost Sanders.
the main one. So I
Yeah,
guess if he would be started to start right away, he could probably go to Philly, which would be very interesting because then he faces his Cowboys
may
twice.
maybe, but you have Boston Scott, who's actually a
Yeah.
pretty decent running back there too. So you're
Isn't
right.
there another guy? There's another guy.
Yeah, they have a
Because if Sanders was gone, there was like I don't know if it's like an Avant or something. I don't know why that name comes.
they signed Rashad Penny.
Yes, there you go.
So there's
So
your
I would
number one back.
that's your number one back there. So
Then
if he wants to go ahead and stick it to the Cowboys
then he
and
goes there.
say then he goes there, and
They also
then you
have
have
Trey Sermon. I forgot about Trey Sermon.
yeah. So
They have some depth over there. So yeah, they're
then you look at the New York Football Jets. I mean Brees Hall is the starter there, and then you have I think I forgot. I know his last name is Johnson, who
you
helped put up
have
some strong numbers in the beginning.
let's see. All right, so Brees Hall,
Yep.
uh Zovian Knight I
Yeah,
can't
Zonovan Knight,
Zonovan, thank you.
who put up some numbers.
Michael Carter from Duke, who or UNC, who's not bad. He just
Hmm.
he was productive. And then you have Ty Johnson.
Yes, Ty Johnson. He's another one that helped get
And
some numbers out there.
and they're all young. Michael Carter's the oldest one. I think he's in his third. He's going into his third year.
Third or fourth year. He's
Yeah. So
not
he's
there that long.
24, 25, maybe.
Yeah.
Um,
And they're all I think all those guys are like young, quick, like faster
mhm.
runners that can catch the ball for like a pass, where Zeke is that down the hill, straight in your face runner. So I don't know if Zeke was on the list of Aaron Rodgers either. I mean, that wouldn't surprise me. And the way that the Jets are just spending money out the ass, like they want to sign Zeke too, they could. Uh, and that man, God forbid, if I can only imagine if you have Aaron Rodgers, Odell, Zeke, all on one team with currently Garrett Wilson and Brees Hall, like, and Sauce Gardner, that's a hell of a star-studded team.
Mhm.
So I think very like the Bengals risk, like if he wants to play, Bengals seem like the most realistic and logical place. Uh, but if he
Yeah.
wants to win a championship, the Eagles sound like the most win ready. They just finished going off for Super Bowl. Or if he just wants to say, fuck it, I want to be a star, go to New York City. And then they turned into that like star-studded Jets team they had when they had like Brett Favre and everybody. But we all know how that turned out. So
Yeah.
I
I
guess I'm just
think,
willing to wait and see.
yeah, it'll be interesting what he does, but I do think I just looking at all the running backs for each team, the Bengals just make the most sense.
I agree.
It's just he's going to be your second, coming off the bench running back. He's not your starter at all. Um, we'll see. It will also be funny to see how much money he's going to make because he's coming off of a lot of money over in Dallas, where he's overpaid for sure. But that's our NFL free agency update. Not much going on. Let's talk about the craziness of March Madness, of what it brings for the teams that lose. So since Thursday of last week when March Madness started, there's been a bunch of coaches that have been let go, that have left, and a lot of coaches that have switched positions. Most notably, Rick Pitino going
Mm-hmm.
from Iona to St. John's. I think this was like telegraphed throughout the whole tournament and leading up to the
It
end of the
was.
season. Like it was the worst kept secret ever that Rick
Yep.
Pitino was taking over. I want to say good for him because I've met him and I think he's a decent human being. Um, but at the same time, all the things that the baggage that comes with him, is it worth it? So we'll see what he can do at St. John's. He did turn Iona around. They won their conference like 2 out of 3 years he was there. He made it to the tournament 3 years in a row. So maybe he can. Maybe he can pull some of those Iona guys with him to St. John's and keep some of the decent recruits that they got in there and retool everything. Um, what are your
No, I agree.
thoughts?
I'm a big, Rick Pitino, he did his thing. Uh, he got Iona back to prominence. He needed to get out of the limelight for a little bit after all the controversy at Louisville. He did what he want to do, and he wanted to gets back to coaching some big league basketball. He's back in the Big East. He can possibly turn around St. John's. The Big East is, it's being held down by UConn right now. So we shall see what happens with Rick. Shout out to him for getting a job back with another program. And I think he can make some waves, but only time will tell. We'll see how he does on the recruiting trail, whether it's transfer portal wise. I'm curious if he's gonna get any of the guys from Iona to come with him, to see if he can to go over to St. John's. But yeah, we'll see. I know we have other coaching
Yeah,
that
the
happens.
Providence lost their head coach to Georgetown. He took over after they fired Patrick Ewing. Um,
Is it Georgetown?
yeah,
Are you sure it wasn't? I thought Tobin Anderson took
Tobin.
Patino's
No. Tobin
job
is
at
not
Iona.
Providence. Tobin did not coach at Providence. I'm talking Providence College, the
Are you talking
Friars.
about Cooley?
Yes,
Cooley.
he's
Okay.
going
Yes,
to
yes.
Georgetown.
After 11 years
Tobin,
at Providence. Yes.
yeah. Well, bigger name, better recognition. I understand that.
He's been there
Um,
for 11 years.
I know,
Like, I don't blame him.
and he's from there.
Yeah.
That's the
Good for
crazy
good for
part.
good for
Good,
Coach Cooley.
but you know what? He made them go on a magical run last year. They didn't have the same power this year. Didn't do as well, and but he's still a good recruiter, still a good basketball coach. Let's be honest, probably a heck of a lot better than Patrick Ewing. So yeah. Um, but Tobin Anderson, like you mentioned, he's leaving Fairleigh Dickinson after 1 year there, right?
Yeah,
What
that's
was this his
crazy.
first year, right?
I don't remember, but he hasn't been there that long. I don't remember how long Tobin Anderson was there. Let's see.
I'm looking it up.
Tobin. Okay.
Yeah, 1 year.
Only 1 year. Where was he before
He was at
Fairleigh
a
Dickinson?
D3 school.
Oh
He
my
was
God.
at St. Thomas Aquinas.
Wow.
He had a great record there, though. He went 209 and 62 overall in conference, 128 and 30. He, let's see.
If I remember correctly, didn't like Fairleigh Dickinson was like they only won like 4 games last year.
Yeah, the year before they had like the best turnaround ever. Um, so he was at St. Thomas is a D2 school. Before that, he was at D3 levels. He was Clarkson, Golden Knights, and then went to Hamilton College until 2011. And looks like he almost took like a year off.
Hmm.
You know, his first 5 years had a losing record. His next few years, just he had better records there. St. Thomas is where he actually like almost it seems like everything started clicking perfectly for him. His first year was his only bad year, where he went 15 and 14. The
Wow.
rest he had 21 seasons, except for, of course, the COVID year where they only won 14 games because that's all they played.
Do you
And
want to know
then
what was also hilarious about Fairleigh Dickinson?
what?
They were not even the conference champions
Right.
of their conference because the school
Merrimack.
that they're in, Merrimack College, is in their like year of transition, so they're not allowed to be in the tournament. And
Right.
they actually had the best record and
They
won their tournament.
Yeah, they Merrimack College, which is a local college in Merrimack, Massachusetts, went transitioned from a D2 school to a D1 school. Um, and because of that, like Kevin said, they had to sit out, which I don't understand. That makes no sense. Why are you punishing a team for coming up, like growing up? Um, but at the same time, it gives us Fairleigh Dickinson, who you know, made their small run, look great, and got their coach a new job. So he's off to Iona to replace Rick Pitino. Pretty big shoes to fill, but I think he's going to do well. He, like Kevin said, he had the shortest lineup. The tallest dude was 6'7" on his team. Average height across the team was 6'3". Kevin, they're my height.
Yeah, that's pretty that's crazy.
That's nuts. Like, good for them. I love it. And then this one I saw, we mentioned the one last week with Coach Beard, going to Ole Miss. I don't want to talk about that guy because I think he's a horrible human being. But Bob Hurley, who used to be a Duke coach or assistant, he went to ASU. Gosh, 8 years ago or something at this point. I feel like he's been there forever now. He had a 2-year extension. I don't think ASU has above 500 record like all since he's been a coach. I don't think they've done that well with him under the helm. They
Bob Hurley.
yeah, so there will be two Bob Hurleys when you look it up because his father
Bob Hurley Jr., the point guard from Duke.
yeah, he's Bobby Hurley and then his dad's Bob Hurley.
Well, let's see. Shout out to Arizona State.
Yeah, he's been there for 8 years. Look at me knowing my stuff.
I mean,
Oh, he does have a
so
winning record actually. I didn't think he was that good.
I mean,
Um
yeah, his started 2015 That was rough. Then
2016 was rough.
2018 and 2019, they made a tournament. No postseason because of COVID. And then a rough year for 2021.
Yeah.
2022, a little bit better. And then this year they got fifth in the conference.
They just haven't made it past the round of 64.
Yeah, they've been one of those teams that they get in and then they go right home. So
Yeah. We'll see. I think they gave him a 2-year extension and be like, all right, you need to win. And if you don't do it now, then you're done. Most likely. But all right, let's talk about this. No, sorry, we can't talk about that because we're going to talk about West Virginia, and it's going to make me sad and cry.
mhm.
Both men's and women's basketball made it. Both lost in West Virginia fashion. Though the girls, I did see some of the girls' game. They played out the best they could, but Arizona is a much better team. So I can't say anything about that. The men's team
Had it and then ceremoniously lost it. Pretty much the epitome of
our
the West
season.
Virginia season. Yep.
Yeah, that was a rough one to watch last Thursday. I took time out of work to kind of just pay attention to it. And there's times where they look unstoppable. And then they just let Maryland crawl back in.
Yep.
Those damn Terrapins just taking their time, just like slowly but surely win the race. And they did. It'll be interesting to see what happens this offseason. I haven't seen.
Yeah, I was watching the first half at home and I went out to go eat lunch to meet up with one of my old bosses. And then I came back home to us losing by 2. And I was like, oh, well, shit, that really sucks.
Yeah,
And I'm
that
like,
was.
damn, thank God I didn't stay home for this whole thing. Um, but right now, the off season for them is going to be very interesting. We already have one person that went to the transfer portal, Jamel King,
Yeah,
entered his name, and I kind of don't blame him because he was touted as being this great shooter that everybody kept talking about, and he never left the bench. So it was
yeah.
like, what happened?
He averaged like 1 point a game, I
But
think.
like they kept talking about this guy that like, hey, if he can just understand like how like the system play when it comes to defense, if he gets a shot to shoot the ball, he could shoot the ball. But we never saw him shoot the ball because he never made it on the court. So I
No.
don't know what it's gonna be. So from what I understand, Trey Mitchell, Toussaint, and Jimmy Bell all have the ability to come back next season if they wish to. So technically, from what we have is we have one scholarship open, which is the one that we just lost from Jamel King.
Well, no,
Um,
you have Emmett Matthews. He's gone.
well, oh yeah, you have him gone, you have Stevenson gone, and
But
Keydron. They all reuse their eligibility,
right, but remember, you're going to get the kid from Manhattan
so that's
who
-1.
sat out all year and then said right before the end of the year, I will be back to be ready to play next year in the Big 12 with West Virginia. So that gives us one of the perennial players in the Big 12.
You would hope.
Yeah, let's hope nothing happens to him, knock on wood.
So they got his teammate that he committed, teammate from Manhattan, but he went to Hofstra for a little bit, and then now he committed to us. I forgot his
Yep.
name, something Oliverio. But you know, who do we think is gonna leave? Who do we think is gonna who is staying from those three that can technically leave? Like it's going to be interesting. I definitely, in my opinion, what we have our scholarships left, I think we need another point guard, and I think we need another big guy down there.
Yeah, so let's see. Let's look at this. So Josiah Davis will probably still be around. Josiah Harris will probably stay around. Kobe Johnson, who actually, when he's out on the court, isn't bad.
I think he needs more playing time.
He does.
Him,
He's good.
Seth Wilson, those guys need to play more.
Yeah.
Um,
James Okonkwo. I'm excited to see what he does. Let's all right. So let's see. Here's your 5th-year players: Adrian Johnson, Emmett, and Stevenson. So they're done.
yeah, the three of them are done because they have used up all possible eligibility.
Right. Okay. So then you come through and look at your seniors: Toussaint, Jose Perez, who did not play because of having to sit out. So he'll be back next year. Trey Mitchell. And then let's see, where is he? Oh, and Jimmy Bell. So next year's team, if say all those guys don't come back minus Jose Perez, because we all know he is coming back to play, you have one of the youngest teams in the country.
I wouldn't.
It's all going to be sophomores and juniors, and then maybe bring in a couple freshmen, or however you use the transfer portal. It's a young team that hasn't played a lot.
Let me see something real quick. Because the only reason I don't think we have anybody on deck to come to us next year. Let me look basketball real quick. Yeah, because the one thing that I'm curious about is like I don't we have no commits for 2023.
So we have 2023 with 2 transfers. We have a Jose and we have Omar Silverero, both 3-star athletes, both from Manhattan, who will be one's a point guard, one's a shooting guard. Okay, so that's good. Let's see if they have any commits.
They have none committed right now. There's nobody committed to come to us next year, probably because we are so stack loaded. Or I think, from what I understand, I was looking online, there is a long list of transfers that West Virginia is looking at. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, they're missing out on a lot of decent players.
Let me see.
They have anyone decommit? Well, here's the best part. They had no one decommit.
That is very true. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I just found the list.
Okay.
So right now, commitments. We have guard Omar Silverio from Manhattan, who played with Jose, which
Yep.
I think could be really cool. A couple of them contacted as of yesterday. Nelly Jr. Joseph from Iona, forward. Per Krisa, junior guard from Arizona. Graham Ike, a sophomore forward from Wyoming, from 321. On 320, senior guard Jared Bynum from Providence. Keyshawn Gilbert from UNLV. Contacted on 318, Zach Austin from High Point. Charles Pride from Bryant. Jamison Battle from Minnesota. And Talon Cooper from Minnesota. And then it goes on. There's some Dontrez Styles, sophomore guard from UNC. Jaden Turner from Butler. And very interesting, contacted 315 John Hughley Jr. from Pitt.
Ew, no.
Eddie Lampkin, center from TCU. And here's a cool name. Contacted on 314 Jameer Nelson Jr. from Delaware.
Interesting.
So a lot of these guys are they're like that. I guess they're that final year senior. That's here. If they were to get somebody from this list, the one name that I think would be interesting would be the gentleman from TCU because we do need a big body. And a lot of people have been clamoring over this junior guard, Clur Krisa from Arizona.
Hmm.
Um, and then of course everybody keeps mentioning, of course, this guy from Pitt. He averaged, I think he has the one that averaged the most 14.9 points per game and 7.9 rebounds with Pitt. Um, he's one of the top ones. And then, oh no, I lied. There are two others. Jameer Nelson Jr. averages 20.6 points. Khalif Battle 17.9 points. And then the senior got forward from Harvard. I didn't know this list continued. 18 points. And a guard from Towson, 17
I
points.
don't want a Towson player. No, they are not that good. I watched them live.
Okay. Well, hopefully we don't get
They're not
him.
that good. Not
But
for us. They can stay at the D1 level, but in the lower divisions. No,
yeah, so
thank you.
that is the list that they have got in contact with since the season ended. Uh I'm curious if this list is gonna continue to grow. But yeah, I guess, are we not going after high school players? Are we what's the deal? I'm just very curious because I didn't know that we didn't have any commits for this year's class, but or is it just because of the fact that we went over so many damn players last year that like we just can't go over any players?
Yeah, maybe. We might. I don't know.
Yeah, because
Well,
we had like 16, 17 guys on the roster last year.
yeah, it's a lot. And none
Yeah,
of like only like 10 of them played.
yeah, so
All right,
yeah, be interesting.
let's move on. Well, we could talk about West Virginia men's basketball forever and our disappointment and thoughts on what they should do. Um, I don't know which one I want to talk about first. Football or the other topic?
The other topic is good.
Okay, let's talk about that one. Um, so the women's team, they just hired a new coach March of last year. Pidwutski with I came and
Fly to it.
play to it. Yep. She now is the head coach for the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Now, when this news came out last week, I think you and I were both kind of like, what the heck? Read a little bit more. She's from the area. She's from, I think, Wisconsin. Close enough, like all that. Okay, you want to be closer home. I can understand that. But seriously, after a year, you signed a 5-year contract. Like, come on. We always, and you and I talked about this last week texting, there's no commitment. We always bitch about, oh, these players have no commitment to the school. They have none of this, da, 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 da. Neither do these coaches.
Yeah.
And it sucks because I'm literally looking up information to see if like Baker, the new athletic director, has any, search any names out there yet. No, but we lost one of our top recruits
Oh, did we
because of this.
already?
Uh-huh. Grace Gorlowski, a Wisconsin native, made her announcement on Twitter Tuesday. It is with a heavy heart that I have decided to reopen my recruitment due to the departure of Coach Dawn from West Virginia. Like,
Yeah, this really sucks
she's a
because go ahead.
like you reading about this girl. She's 98 out of the top 100, so still top 100 player. 4-star prospect. She was the 34th women's basketball player in Wisconsin high school basketball history to eclipse 2,000-point mark and helped lead her team to a school Division I Wisconsin State championship this season. Like, that's what sucks is now a team that no one thought would do well made it to the tournament. They may have not won, but they battled out the whole time. Now loses their coach after a year. And then you lose your recruits. And now we have no idea what these girls are going to do.
Yeah. I'm very curious to see what's gonna happen because I feel like this is just the beginning of a domino effect, especially because I don't know how long this I don't know how long this search is gonna take. Because I mean, I know I talked to you about a couple of people that who a lot of people kept lobbying for. Um that Kim Stevens, current coach for Glenville State, who won the D2 national championship last year. They end up coming to find out that she already accepted the
Marshall.
Marshall's women's job, which that sucks. Uh, and I keep hearing about the next person that might come back, and that is Coach
No.
Carey.
Yeah, I've seen that. No. I love Coach Carey. I think he's a great human being because I was around him for 3 years, but it's not what we need.
Yeah, I just, we that it's put us, they put us in a really tough spot. Like I don't like. I have a feeling that all those girls, maybe at least some of the younger ones, they might leave to go ahead and possibly play with Coach Don. Um, I'm
Yeah.
trying to think. Let's see. And I heard that her departure was not the best either. I heard that she didn't go on the bus with the team after they lost the tournament, and that their coaches kind of gave them heads up, like, "Hey, you need to make sure you uh check out Twitter," which I think is kind of shitty. Like, you should have told your team that you were leaving.
Yeah. Why
Um,
would you come on? That just makes me no, I'm done. I don't want to even that's that's horrible. Like you're not even
yeah.
talk to your team. Like, hey guys, you know what? I have decided, talking to my family and whatnot. I have the opportunity to move closer back to where I'm from, which is my desire. What sucks though is like you took this job knowing you were going to be here for 5 years.
Hold on. I'm reading the rest of this article.
Oh
So
boy.
I guess apparently, so the meeting was called. So fast forward. Okay, so 24 hours after the loss, and then Minnesota confirmed they hired Dawn. She told WVU about it and did eventually address her team about it, according to Ren Baker. So that like I'm from what I'm reading, it was still very very uh quick,
Yeah, it
and
sounds
then
like it
there was a
sound
meeting. Here, I'll forward you the link via our chat. Hold on. Let me
well,
see.
your voice just changed. You're louder.
Oh,
Oh, now you're good. I don't know what happened.
yeah, I'll forward you the article I found in the chat.
It just sounds like the only reason she said anything or talked to the team is because of Ren.
Uh,
Oh, well, at least we know this is a reputable source.
yeah, let's see. So it looks like she didn't talk about. She didn't. There was a meeting with the players that still had eligibility left, and then the players that like this was their last year. They didn't hear anything about it at all.
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah, so it sucks. I understand you want to be closer to home, but I think I mean, what would you in your in this situation? What do you do? I mean, I've never been a head coach before. I've never had this type of opportunity to like do something like this. So like, what is the proper way to do this? Do you
I
tell them that like right before a big game that, hey, I'm just letting you know, whenever this tournament runs now, I'm going to be leaving the team. It's just, I mean, I guess there's no good way or bad way to handle it, but it seems like, uh, it seems like, I don't know, but yeah, shall we move on?
I'm just like reading this. Like none of the coaches were on the bus. None.
And I wonder, like, what as a player, what are you thinking when like all your coaches are just not on this bus? Like you're all the players like just going home. Like what just happened? Like I can only imagine being a player on that bus being like, wait, our coach is leaving us. Didn't even tell us. Or maybe some of them found out later on that she was leaving. I don't know. I am good to move on from this topic if you are.
Yep, I am too. Because guess what? Spring football's back.
Spring football is back. Yay.
And guess who has paid a quarter of their season ticket costs?
You have, oh my God. That is very exciting.
I know. I'm pumped. I
Oh my
am,
gosh. The steps to that is coming closer and closer.
dude, it's unreal that I'm like sitting here going, wow, I'm gonna have football season tickets to West Virginia next year. Like that
Freaking star.
to me is unreal. But yeah, spring football's back. Um, I have no expectations for this team. None. None. I have none.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
mean,
I'm just excited football is back for literally like the next month and a half. And then we can just sit here and be like, how bad are we going to be this year? What are we going to do this year? What about so we'll see. I don't know. It's just going to be whatever.
I mean, if we could win 4 games next year, honestly, I will take if we can even win 6. If we could win 6 games and get to a bowl game somehow, I would cry. I would cry.
Let me ask you this question.
Sure.
We have to play our biggest rival and probably our second biggest rival besides Virginia Tech this year. If we beat those two teams, do you sit here and say that's successful? If and those are the only 2 wins we have all year, besides like the crappy FCS school that comes in and we beat them. All right, do you sit there and say that's successful?
If we beat
Penn
Penn
State
State and
and
Pitt,
Pitt.
maybe it saves him another year. That's it.
I hope for West Virginia basketball's sake that it doesn't, or football rather, football's sake that it does not save him. But I think everyone's on the same page. If we do not win against Pitt on September 16th in Morgantown, he won't have a job the following Sunday.
No, that's a fact.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But you know what? We still have just under 6 months till that game happens. So wait to see what happens at that
Yeah,
point.
I don't, I don't even know what to make of it. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna
Mhm.
be definitely an interesting season because I don't know who these players are for the first time because I don't like I just don't know because I had such expectations last year and they crumbled to the ground so hard that this year I'm just like for the first time in my like years of watching the football team, maybe the exception of like 2014 when we were like really bad, but this year is could be maybe one of the worst years yet.
Yeah, we're
But I
gonna
don't
find out.
but I'm trying to be as
They
positive
do.
as I can be.
Let's be honest though, they probably have one of the best backfields in the country.
Yeah.
for running backs. Like,
And also probably the a really, really tenured offensive line. So maybe if that comes to fruition and
we
there's
just
get some depth there, and maybe I just don't know anything because for one, I thought Kansas was trash, but Kansas won last year, and who knows? Maybe we could end up I could maybe we could end up having a year like Kansas did last year. I don't know. But that's all I got on WV football for the moment. I'm good. I listened to the Neil's press conference. He admits that last year was a failure and that this year is what he said is the first steps into fixing it. So let's see how it gets fixed, and we will take it from there.
yeah, I can't wait to see what he fixes. All right, enough of that. Let's talk about your jersey because it is a Hornets jersey.
It is a Hornets jersey.
Who
It
is it?
is
Is
LaMelo
it
Ball.
Ball? Ball.
LaMelo Ball, with the lending tree sponsor patch on there, continuing the collection of sponsor patches. Um,
Sorry you didn't get
I've
one when you were in Boston.
but it's okay for the simple fact that I have no, I did get one.
You didn't get a sponsored jersey.
Yeah, I did. My Tatum jersey has a sponsor patch on it.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, and it's a
Oh,
Jordan one.
oh, okay. I guess I didn't see the sponsored on it.
No, I wouldn't have bought a Tatum jersey without it.
Oh, geez.
Yes. So, continuing the sponsor patch, I'm in the mix. There is one that I'm looking at. It's a Dame Lillard jersey,
I
and
know
it
we were talking
has
about those last week.
a Storm X. I'm trying to see if I can make an offer to this guy to just lower the price a little bit because it's an authentic one too, not just this regular swingman.
I gotta get
So
I gotta get the one that has the carpet on it.
I know that one is a little too much money right now for me.
Yeah.
There's a guy I put in an offer. He's asking for like 180. I dropped it to like 150 and he didn't take it. I'm like, come on, bro. Work with me here.
That's a lot of money for a jersey like that. No.
Well, technically, when you buy them in the stadiums, they are about 150. So
Yeah,
like
no,
that's
I was saying the
why
180 is a little
yeah,
expensive.
180. I was like, if it's the stitched one and an authentic one, word, like we can do that. But like, come on, man, work with me here. So, but the one that I've been looking at, it has their current sponsor called like Stormex. I don't even know what the hell that is, but it has their Stormex sponsor. So I'm trying to figure out to see if I can finagle that one. Are you googling what Stormex is?
Storm Max,
Storm X.
Storm X. Oh,
Oh, it's another crypto type bullshit.
no, it's not.
Yep, easiest way to earn crypto. I just Googled it. Ugh, stupid.
Get away from all these crypto people.
But also, you know what I also have been looking for? I've been on a hunt for that Bill Russell jersey.
Oh my god. If you can find one, I will.
There is one. I
It's
just gotta finagle. What size are you?
a large.
Ooh, okay. I might have something for you. I will if when I go into the eBay, I will text it to you after
Okay.
and I'll let you pull the trigger if you want. Worst comes to worst, it could be your birthday present and I'll bring it to when we go to Pittsburgh.
Dude, that thing will get the moment that gets here, I'm going to Michael's or wherever and putting it in a frame.
Putting it in a frame.
Oh, that thing
Me
will never
too.
get I will never I might wear it that first day you give it to me or I get it
Mm-hmm.
and then immediately put it in a frame
Mm-hmm.
and put it in my office. So I'll move shit around in my office to put that jersey up.
You can if you move that coat rack that's right behind you, it looks like it would fit perfectly.
Yeah, but you know what? That's behind the door. I don't want to.
Oh,
That
just
door's
put it on the door.
no. I'll put it right here. I'm over so I can look at it every day. I
Oh,
already have my
okay.
Bill Russell when he passed away and I was in Aruba. I actually bought like a Bill Russell picture, like all his stat stuff, like all in this one big frame. from Amazon. My wife's like, "Really?" I go, "I didn't find his jersey, so you're lucky I didn't spend that much money."
Oh my god, I love it.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Oh, I don't have a hat on tonight, by the way.
Yeah, you don't have a hat on, so then talk about what kind of shirt that is.
All right. So when I was in Aruba, just this last time,
Shout
a
out to
couple weeks
Aruba.
ago, my so we didn't go to this place. We did the first time. I went down a couple like in July or something last year, called Lucy's. It's just a little taco shack, like or taco place right on the water. They play really loud music, way too loud. But the food isn't bad, and they had these shirts with the skull, and it's just a bunch of different things in it, like a mermaid, hula dancer. Let's see, octopus, pelican, all this kind of stuff in here within the skull. And I really wanted it and didn't have a chance to get it when we were there. So when we on our last day, our second to last day, we went and grabbed this. I got a shirt. Ashley got my wife got a shirt. Um, so yeah, I thought I put it on today. I was like, this is perfect. Not gonna change. Not gonna put a hat on tonight. I'm good. I think this shirt will be good enough.
I love it.
All right. Shall we talk about it? Shall we talk about the basketball? All the funness. We have a couple games on behind us. Um, I don't know the scores of either one right now. Michigan State is playing Kansas State. Ooh, 70-75. Kansas State's up. And I know Arkansas is
That's
playing
is
UConn.
that the one that's in the garden right now?
Yeah.
That's so
Yo,
legit.
did you see the picture of the four teams that are supposed to be in the Garden?
Uh-huh.
And FAU's mascot was like, I lost my invite in the mail because he wasn't there, the
Oh
mascot. So
my
they had like the New York
gosh.
skyscraper mascot and then state mascot, Kansas State's mascot, and who else is playing there?
And so FAU, is that like Tennessee?
Yeah, maybe I think it is Tennessee. So if it's those four, it's like three out of those four actually were there, the mascots.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Oh yeah, that's definitely good. All right, so we're going to talk about the biggest upset and the second time in 5 years that this has happened. That a 16 seed beat a number one seed in Purdue. Fairleigh Dickinson. Those
From
boys,
Teaneck, New Jersey.
that's just what's up with Jersey?
Jersey, they love their basketball, man.
I
But
know, but like
I just I
last
just think,
year, this year, like
yeah, I just think Purdue severely underestimated his team. You could just tell by the way they were playing. They just like you felt like it felt like FDU wanted it more, and
mhm.
you saw it with every type of play. The way they locked up Edie, the guards were getting when they were closing out on the guys from Purdue shooting. They were barely clanking the rim. I don't know I just don't know what happened. And I watched that last couple minutes during the game when it was like neck and neck, and it was just simply Purdue couldn't hit a shot from the ocean. They couldn't throw a ball in the water. It was
and
out of control.
they did not get that ball to Edie.
They
Was it
couldn't.
was it that wasn't it the last like 8 minutes he didn't even touch the ball. He didn't have one shot.
I think he had like two. He took two shots within the last 8 minutes.
Like that's not enough. This
Yeah,
man,
and it makes me wonder. And I think I remember. I don't remember who talked about it. I think Cyrus talked about it last week. Guard play is kind of the ways of the world in basketball.
mhm,
The years of the big man dominating, the floor
are
are kind
gone.
of over. So the fact that if Edie was technically your best player and your shooters couldn't do anything, or your wing players, you're in trouble. And it was paramount that day because nobody in Purdue could do anything. because their best player couldn't get the ball because he was consistently double teamed. They were closing out every time he touched the ball. They were pounding him and scrapping for the ball to steal it away. It was crazy.
The best part though for it was they played defense. Like that's where they knew they were going to beat them. It defense and transition.
Yep.
And that's exactly what they did. Yeah, it's Tennessee's up in New York.
That's what I thought. Volunteers. Shout out to them. But yeah, I'm curious to see what Purdue does after this. So because I did not know this is a third consecutive year that they were knocked out by a double-digit seed.
Yeah, they lost to a 13, a 15, and a 16 now.
Yeah,
But
that's not good.
It's Arizona. What was it, Arizona? They've lost to 2 15s 2 years in a row.
Yeah, that one.
That's bad.
Shout out to Princeton and the Ivy League and their shooting.
And their defense.
I mean, I would love to see Princeton make it to the Elite Eight. If they made it to the Final Four, that would be absolutely unreal.
If they make it to the Elite Eight and they go up against Alabama, I might throw some money on Princeton to win.
Or even take the money line, because if they get hot, it's going to be a rough night.
Well, what did they say during the Arizona game? Princeton averages like 58 points a game. They don't average a lot of points.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona averages, like they said, like 70. So there's a 12-point swing right there. And Arizona, it was like 60 something to 59. Arizona didn't get out of the 50s. I'm pretty sure.
Well, Arizona couldn't make a bucket the last 8 minutes of the game, which was, I could not believe that they couldn't make anything. It was crazy. They were like, whatever defense Princeton had on them, they couldn't figure out a way to stop it. And it took them down. Because I think also Arizona, another team with their best players are two big guys.
Mm-hmm.
And they couldn't get their two best players the ball. When you can't get your best players the ball, you're not going to win.
No, it's interesting to watch like teams like Arizona, Purdue, who have these dominant big men, all of a sudden just become quote unquote mortal because teams are playing double teaming them, or they're quick to the ball. Like if you watch FDU play, every play there was 2 to 3 players by Edey, but once that ball was swung to the other player, they're right in their face. So
yeah, the rotation back to their man,
those
swiping at the ball, tipping loose balls, getting advantage of any loose ball. Those small things that matter in a basketball game, they were taking advantage of. Nuts.
Excuse me. I'm not trying to yawn because I'm bored or tired. Well, I am slightly tired, but not because I'm bored.
My God, if that is true, then damn.
No, I'm kidding.
We might need another guest.
Oh, geez. Yeah, we do need to have more guests on. But that's another talk for another day. And then what do we have?
You had Furman.
Furman.
Shout out to Noel for calling that pick.
Then that's like the second time in 3 years that they've been bounced by a lower
Virginia.
seed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just never going to touch Virginia again. If they're number 1 overall, I'm still going to pick them to lose. But majority of the games were great games. There wasn't too many blowouts, not too many crazy scores.
Yeah, a lot of games are fairly close for the most part.
Yeah, did you watch any of the Kansas State Kentucky game the other day?
I was able to watch a portion of it, and shout out to Kansas State for putting on for the Big 12, because pretty much they're the ones. Yeah, they're the ones that
Texas.
In Texas. Oh, yes, and Texas. So we shall see what happens. Deontay Johnson, he could make a star out of us right now. out of himself with his story. Um, if you don't know Keontae Johnson's story, if correct me if I'm wrong, Merritt, he collapsed in the middle of a game when he was playing for University of Florida.
Yep.
He recovered from
He was in a
he had what they called athlete's heart.
yeah, he was in a coma after
Yep.
after he passed out on the court because of his heart.
hmm And then I believe instead of taking like a $5 million need to
Buyout.
never buyout to never play basketball again, he decided to go ahead and enter the transfer portal, signed with Kansas State, first time head coach.
And they were
Uh
projected to be the worst team in the Big 12 this year. They
yeah,
finished third in the Big 12.
absolutely crushing it right now.
And he is their best player. He sat out the remaining, I think the remaining year or 2 years that he had at Florida.
hmm
And they kept him on scholarship because of what happened. And then he bet on himself. This kid, oh Jesus Christ, UConn is killing him.
Let's go, UConn.
48-29.
And what about the Kansas State game?
80-75 with 3 minutes left. Kansas State is up.
Let's go, Kansas State. I love it.
I know. I really want Izzo to keep going because it's Izzo magic.
Yeah, but I like the story
I do
of
too.
Kansas State. So
You
let's
always
keep
have the story games. You always have this one player in every March Madness. So how is your non-podcast bracket looking?
so my non-podcast, let me go ahead and show you. Let's see. So I don't have a chance to win this one.
Yeah.
This one I have Texas winning,
Mm-hmm.
and let's see. So yeah, so Creighton. So I got Alabama and San Diego State. So my final four, that's the most important question. Only Texas remains.
Yeah, that's how mine looks right now too. Texas is the only Final Four team I have left.
So far, if I could get every single thing to happen, then that means I would legitimately have uh every single one right. But it's not going to be good enough to win the championship that I'm in, which would have been really fun. But oh well.
But
I missed out on a lot of the 8-9 matchups.
yeah,
The 50-50s. I picked the wrong ones. But it's funny because I have like a one that's called the hell with it bracket, and I have currently have the most points scored in that one. Because those are the ones where I put people like Princeton by, and like
I
I had W winning the whole thing. I always have one bracket where I have us winning.
I have the most points in my league right now. I'm projected to finish third because the two players behind me have Tennessee and Houston winning it all. And their
Oh
final
my
four has
gosh.
two teams left each. So I'm like hopeful that Tennessee and Houston lose
That would be huge.
within the next like 4 days. Because if that happens, then I could potentially um still win, which would be great. But
Oh my
that's
gosh.
like a far stretch. Um for
Ooh,
sure at
this
this point.
this one guy that's in the top of the league. He still has three of his final four matchups still alive, with
Jesus.
Alabama, Houston, and UCLA winning. Um
I should have stuck
like
with UCLA.
Houston, he has Alabama winning it all, and with those teams in the final. So that would be hilarious if all of them lose, and then I don't know how far he drops, but that would be hilarious if I could somehow sneak up there. I'm still kind of far away, but it would have been nice to, you know, be kind of close.
You
But oh
never
well.
know. It's March
Yeah.
Madness. It's magic when March. There, can't talk. Words are hard. Um, but yeah, I definitely think there's gonna be some good basketball. All right, so let's talk about this now. including the four teams that are on behind the 2 games on behind me. Out of the 16 teams left, if we re-rank them, they've been doing it all week. Who do you think is the number 1 overall team at this point in the tournament?
Out of everyone that is currently left.
That is left out of the 16 that are left.
Okay. Shoot, that's tough.
I know.
That is tough. You know what? I will go Alabama.
Really?
Hold on, wait. Let me rethink of that. Hold on. Let me see. Number 1 overall. So I'm slotting these 1 to 16. Damn. Uh,
Oh shit.
what happened?
Michigan State's down by 4 with 1 minute left.
Oh man. All right, here I go. I think I'll still take
Bama.
Bama number 1. Right after I'm gonna go. I'll take Houston
Mm-hmm.
number 2. Number 3. Who did they lose to? Number 3, I'll go Tennessee. Number 4, Miami. Then number 5, UConn. And then
Okay.
everybody else filters out
Somewhere after that.
somewhere after that. I just, if I were to go of who I think is favorited to win right now, or who I personally want to win, I would love if UConn could make a run.
No shit. Really? I would never have guessed that one.
I would love if UConn could make a run, and I would love to see a matchup of either them or Miami. They
Interesting.
would play each other in the Final Four, and I think that would be a lot of fun to
That would
watch.
be an interesting old school Big East ACC battle right there.
You would think that I'd be watching a football game thinking about UConn and like Miami, but
Oh my god.
I think those I would love to see those teams. Like if I were to pick a new like a for real Final Four right now, to at this point in time, I would take UConn.
Oh
I think
shit.
I
It's 80 to 82.
oh my god. All
Kansas
right.
State has the ball.
So Kansas State has the ball for all of our people that are just listening to us right now
And
and
that'll
can't
listen to
see
this
what's
tomorrow.
happening.
Yeah.
Yes.
10,
Um
10 seconds left on the shot clock, 30 seconds left in the game.
oh
He shoots a 3 from the freaking logo. What are you doing?
I'm not gonna lie, I saw somebody made a shot, but that was from the UConn game, so whoops, my bad. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
All right. So
You
Michigan
might
State
have
called
some
timeout.
Izzo magic.
Oh,
So like I was saying, if I were to pick my Final Four, I would go UConn. I would go. Ooh, I'll skip that conference real quick. I will go
UConn, Alabama.
UConn, Alabama. Oh man, I want to say Kansas State, but then I might jinx them because they're playing right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go with Tennessee right now. And I really like Miami. I watched Miami play the other night, and I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I really like the way they playing. So that would be a very interesting Final Four. But man, would we love to just see Princeton in the Final Four?
That'd
The
be amazing.
Princeton Tigers from the Ivy League.
They could beat Creighton. They could.
They play very similar. They all about shooting. So it's whoever's gonna get
All
hot first.
all about shooting and all about defense on both those squads. So all right, if I'll do my top 4. My
Go
final
ahead.
or top 5 like you did.
Yeah.
My number 1 overall, I'm gonna go with Houston.
H-Town down.
And then I'm gonna go with Alabama. I just think Alabama's had it easy. So
Agree.
they haven't had any struggles yet. Then I'm going to go with Kansas State.
It's a
I
good
th-
one. It's a
I
good one.
think they've shown up, they've shown out, they've balled out, they've fought through every game. Um, Next, UConn at 4. Number 5, I'm gonna go with Xavier.
Xavier over Texas. Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm not gonna pick Xavier to beat Texas. I think Texas will win just because of their size advantage and how they play. But right now, I think Xavier, they look good underneath Sean Miller. Um, they had a nail biter the other night. I think when you're playing a game like that, it makes things. You play a tougher game. You come out with a little bit more of a chip on your shoulder for the next one. So we'll see. Holy crap! They tied it. Kevin, you froze.
I still hear you though.
Okay. Well, guess what? They tied it.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
End of regulation.
God, of course, the Garden, man, the Garden Magic. If I would have known I was gonna be off today, I would have looked up tickets. But like,
Oh, they're
I
stupid.
well,
They're
yeah,
$500.
I fully believe it. One of the guys that I know, he's currently there with like really good seats, and I'm
If
like, yo,
if my buddy put in a request at work like a month ago, could have gone, but he also just had his first kid, so I don't think we would have gone.
oh, strugs.
But Final Four for me, and
Yeah,
then my
who's your
eventual
final four?
champion, Alabama, of
Okay,
course. I'm gonna say Kansas State. I don't know how this game's gonna end,
that's why I didn't want to say that because I don't want to screw it up.
but you know what? I don't care because I love Izzo. So if it's Izzo
Okay,
Magic, let's go. I'm riding that all the way through. Um, Houston,
H Town down.
and then I'm gonna go UCLA.
I do like UCLA
I
too.
really do. I think you guys talked me out of picking UCLA last week, and I'm really mad that I listened to you guys last week.
It's okay.
I should have not. I should have told you
Sh-
all to
Well,
shut up.
I think it's because of the fact that that was the last one bracket we did, and everybody was tired.
Yeah, we were
So,
all just like going through it. And then the eventual champ at this rate, probably Houston.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
that's what I've got. That's what I'm thinking at this point. Um,
yeah, it's gonna be
but
something.
it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I don't know who my eventual champion. I said my final four was UConn, Miami.
Alabama, Houston.
No, I
Oh
couldn't be
no,
Houston.
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
So you'd have a SEC versus SEC, Big
Oh yeah, I
East
do.
versus ACC.
I'm gonna go UConn. I'm gonna go UConn. Screw it. Let They're hot right now. I
Dude,
watched on Instagram. They had
they almost are doubling up Arkansas right now.
hell yeah.
It's
Let's get it.
62 to 33
Let's freaking get it.
with
UConn,
fit
UConn, UConn.
with
Shout out to
four.
my nephew Bryce out there as a UConn student right now. He must be. Oh my god, I think he's also. No, he's a junior now. I was gonna say his sophomore year was when we went to the Final Four. He's a junior right now, so shout out to him.
And UConn, so they're playing in Vegas. I forgot about this, and I just saw that they were the Vegas logo.
Mm-hmm.
They had to leave their hotel room because of like vomit, other stuff. Like it was a pretty shitty hotel room apparently. So they had to
How
leave
the
the
hell
hotel.
did they get a shitty hotel room? You're fucking UConn. Put up the money to put your team in a good place. Good God.
I know, I know.
But yeah, I'm gonna roll with you. Them Huskies. These are the years that normally that they come out of nowhere to do it. So shout out to those Huskies. I'm excited to see if they can continue it, but that's what I'll roll with right now, and we'll see what happens.
Awesome. All right, Kev. Did we miss anything?
You know what? I wanted to touch on a couple of the ones from the women's tournament.
Okay.
Uh, Stanford, number 1 seed, out already.
Yep.
Shout out to those Miami Hurricanes for knocking off Indiana, which was like a top
In
seed
Indiana.
in Indiana. So
Did you
shout out
see? Did you see what she did at the foul line
what?
to ice the game? She hits her foul shot, and she goes to the crowd.
Shout out to the Cavender twins for one of them. I
Oh
don't
my
know which
god!
one it was, but shout out to the Cavender twins for starting to ice that game and to put the team up so they can go through. So that's pretty freaking epic, honestly.
Didn't they beat Oklahoma too? Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like the last second shot by them.
Yeah, so
Woo!
women's team is getting crazy. I'm bummed that Stanford lost because that was actually my favorite to try and win, other than of course
South Carolina.
South Carolina, because I'm a big fan of Cameron Brink. So
I want to see what Caitlin. I really want to see Caitlin Clark in Iowa make it.
I mean, she's there. She's crushing it right now. Caitlin Clark is.
She's hitting threes from the freaking logo.
I cannot wait till she makes it to the WNBA because she's gonna be a good one.
Well, she can come out this year, can't she?
Yeah, she can. Because normally, like, it's super interesting. It's the NCAA tournament for women's basketball ends. 2-3 weeks later, it's the WNBA draft.
Yeah,
There's
it's
like
very
no
quick.
transition.
Yep.
But yeah, that's really all I had. I think we hit everything March Madness wise, football wise. You know, we're out here.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
You have trivia today?
Yeah, I do. I have a trivia.
I love it. I won't look at the thing because you're about to put it in.
I'm not typing it in yet. I'll ask a question first.
All
Okay.
right, go ahead.
Which coach has won the most NCAA tournament games?
Oh, wow.
Good question, huh?
That is a great question.
I'll give you extra points if you can guess the number of wins.
Definitely not gonna be able to do that.
You never
But
know.
no, that's too hard. My head hurts. Let me go. Can I go with most NCAA double tournament wins?
And I want to say this is men's side. I would assume that Gino has a shitload and Pat Sona has a shitload, but
Okay. So that was going to ask if there was
yeah.
if this was men's or women's. I feel like I was gonna go with Jim Boeheim because he's just been coaching for so long. No, that's what I thought. Because I feel like that would have been too easy.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be Coach K?
Yes, it is.
Coach
Coach
K,
K.
yeah. That's what I figured. He's been coaching another one
Now,
coaching for a while.
try to guess how many.
Can I ask, like, is it over 50 or under 50?
It's over 50. That's the only hint you get.
65.
No.
Okay.
He has 97 wins.
That's believable. Because if you think about a team like Duke, they at least what, 2 or 3 each time they get there. Then a couple of times they make it to the Elite Eight. That's like already 3 wins, 4 wins. I believe that. I'm happy at least I got the coach right.
Okay, so that is definitely in men's basketball. Women's basketball, you want to guess who has the most wins?
It'd have to be Gino, right?
Yeah, and you want to guess how many he has?
That's got to be at least like 180.
133.
Okay, all right.
He's
I knew at least triple digits.
His overall head coaching record is 1,180 and 155 that is 88.4% win percentage.
Sick.
In his tournaments, in the NCAA tournament, he's 133 and 22.
So sick. 133 and 22, you said?
Mm-hmm.
So just think about that for a second. So it's at least minimum, he's at least making it to the Elite Eight or Sweet 16 every year.
Dude, he's been at UConn since '85.
That's sick. And just think about the continuous years. So, like, the years when Sue Bird and all them made it all the way to the Final Four. Then all the years with Diana Taurasi, that's 5 games there. Then, like, the years of the Renee Montgomerys, the Maya Moores, the Brianna Stewarts. It just continues and continues. He's the way UConn produces women's basketball. It's like, holy smokes, that is like the true professional team over there. And I'm sorry, I just noticed I look really slim in this video right now, and I haven't said that in a while. So shout out to
Did
me and shout out to the Alpha Life.
did he
I'm trying to be
had
like you.
he hasn't he's only had 4 seasons that he had less than 20 wins.
Less than 20 wins. Okay, yeah, I see that because I know there's a couple when the teams weren't
His
the greatest.
his first 2 years, his first year he was 12 and 15, his second year 14 and 13, third 17 and 11, and then 92 to 93 he was 18 and 11. Those were his worst years.
That's crazy.
Freaking nuts. How, like, that is so crazy to me. I also find it funny that UConn went from the Big East to the ACC and then back to the Big East.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Crazy. Because they were like, it's too boring in the AAC, in the American Athletic Conference.
That's true.
Just winning all the time. Think about that. Think about all those tournament wins that they've won in the American. Craziness.
They're like, yeah, we'll just win everything. All right. Kevin, before you do your outro, good luck this weekend. You are marrying some of your good friends this weekend in Jersey. Is it tomorrow or is it
Tomorrow.
Saturday? Tomorrow.
It is
Oh,
actually,
shit.
not gonna lie, it is definitely kind of nerve-wracking because I just hope I don't suck.
Oh, you won't suck. You'll be fine.
I'm a little nervous. I'm excited, but shout out to my friend Jarrett and his lovely fiance Blanca. I'm about to be marrying them as I am an ordained minister for the American Marriage Ministries. So if anybody in the state of New Jersey needs someone to marry them, feel free to reach out. But yeah, I'm going to be doing that. And yeah, I'll be able to update you guys next week on the pod how that went.
All right. Well, we cannot wait to hear it. Kevin, get us out of here. The best you got.
Yes, it is outro time, y'all. Again, thank you guys for listening. We are episode 77 overall, episode 25 for the season. Unreal, absolutely unreal. Thank you guys for those that are supporting us. So first off, if you guys are watching us right now, watching my awesome haircut that I have and Merritt's awesome Aruba shirt, make sure you go ahead and like our videos on YouTube at Million Music's Podcast. We need some likes. Shout out, give us a little comment if you feel like you need a comment. That would be awesome. What else do I have? We gotta talk about if you just want to listen to us and you don't want to see our faces, feel free to make sure you listen to us on Apple Podcasts. We are on Spotify. We are on Google Play. We are on Amazon Play. So feel free to listen to us at any of those streaming platforms. Make sure you follow us at our Instagram. That's where I'm probably our most active. Our Instagram at the Mainly Musings Pod. You can follow Merritt at his Instagram at Merritt_P. Follow me at KQuava624. And again, take care and good night, y'all.
Peace.